Today, we are going to explore one of the most powerful books ever written about human behavior, self-control, mental strength, and the science behind why we struggle with our own decisions. The book is The Willpower Instinct by Kelly McGonigal. This is not just another motivational book. It is a deep, science-based explanation of what willpower really is, why we lose control even when we don't want to, and how we can strengthen our inner discipline to build a better life. The book explains the psychology, biology, and emotions behind our everyday choices. And the best part is that everything is explained in a way that we can apply immediately in real life. Let's begin our journey into understanding willpower. Imagine for a moment that you have two versions of yourself living inside you. One version is calm, patient, disciplined, and future-focused. This version wants to save money, eat healthy, work out, focus on career, study more, sleep early, and achieve long-term goals. The second version is impulsive, emotional, pleasure-seeking, and wants instant satisfaction. This version wants to eat junk food, scroll endlessly on the phone, procrastinate, skip workouts, overspend, and do whatever feels good in the moment. Every day, from morning to night, our life becomes a silent war between these two versions of ourselves. And whichever version wins more battles decides the direction of our life. Kelly McGonigal explains that willpower is not just about saying no. It is about three powers working together: I will, I won't, and I want. I will is the energy we use to do something difficult. I won't is the strength to resist temptation. And I want is the clarity of remembering our long-term goals, so that we don't get distracted by short-term desires. When these three forces work together, we become stronger, more focused, and more capable of creating the life we want. The book also breaks a big myth. Most people think willpower is a moral quality, like you either have it or you don't. But science tells a different story. Willpower is like a muscle. It can get tired, and it can also get stronger with training. When we try to control our emotions, resist cravings, or stay focused on a task, our brain uses real energy. This is why after a long day of controlling ourselves, we feel mentally exhausted. This is why at night we lose discipline more easily. It's not because we are weak, it's because our willpower muscle has been used up. Now let's understand an important concept from the book. Whenever we make mistakes or fail, we think the problem is lack of motivation. But Kelly says the real problem is stress. Stress makes our brain crave comfort. When we are stressed, we want immediate pleasure, sugar, entertainment, and escape. That is why when we are tired after a long day, we binge eat, overspend, or binge watch videos. Stress shifts the brain to survival mode, and in this mode, the brain cares only about the present moment, not the future. So, if we want better willpower, managing stress is one of the most important steps. Kelly also explains why humans often sabotage their own goals. She calls it the "I deserve it" effect. After doing something good, like exercising or studying or resisting a temptation, we tell ourselves that we have earned a reward. And sometimes the reward cancels the benefit of the good behavior. For example, someone exercises for 30 minutes, then convinces themselves to eat something unhealthy because they worked out. Or someone saves money for a week and then suddenly overspends. Our brain tries to negotiate with our values, and if we don't stay aware, we fall into these traps. But the awareness is the secret weapon. The more aware we are of our thoughts and urges, the more control we have. The book emphasizes the power of mindfulness. Mindfulness is not sitting on a mat and meditating. It simply means noticing what you are feeling and thinking without judging it. When we are mindful, we notice our cravings instead of automatically giving in to them. We notice our stress instead of escaping from it. We notice our thoughts instead of being controlled by them. This awareness creates a space between desire and action, and in that small space lies our power to choose differently. Another powerful insight from the book is that the brain has two systems working together. The first system is the prefrontal cortex, the logical, planning, decision-making part of the brain. This part helps us think long-term. The second system is the reward and threat system, the emotional part that reacts instantly. When we lose willpower, it's because the emotional brain takes over. When we practice self-control daily, we strengthen the prefrontal cortex. So every moment of discipline, no matter how small, is actually training our brain. Kelly also talks about the pause and plan response. When we are tempted by something, or when we feel anger or fear, or when we want to give up, our body reacts automatically. But in pause and plan, instead of acting automatically, we take a breath, pause for a second, and remember our long-term goals. This simple pause helps us switch from emotional brain to logical brain. That one pause can completely change the outcome. The book also speaks about guilt and why it actually makes our willpower weaker. Many people think that feeling guilty will push them to change, but guilt makes us feel bad about ourselves. And when we feel bad, we look for comfort, which often leads to repeating the same mistake again. This is why people who feel guilty about breaking a diet often eat even more afterward. The solution is not guilt, but self-compassion. When we forgive ourselves quickly and kindly, we create an emotional environment that supports change. We don't need to be harsh to grow. We need to be encouraging. Kelly discusses another interesting idea called future self. Most of our bad decisions happen because we treat our future self like a stranger. We say we will start tomorrow, we will save next month, we will change later. But when tomorrow comes, we still treat our future self the same way. The cycle continues forever. But when we emotionally connect with our future self, seeing that the future version of us is real, human, deserving, we make better choices. Talking to your future self, imagining their life, or writing to them increases responsibility. When we act for them, we feel stronger. The book goes deeper into cravings. Cravings are not the problem. The problem is the story we attach to cravings. When we believe, "I can't resist this," cravings grow stronger. When we believe, "I can choose," cravings lose power. Also, cravings usually last only a few minutes. If we sit through them, breathe, and observe them, they fade. Our brain wants us to act quickly, but if we slow down, we gain control. Another fascinating point Kelly makes is about energy. When the brain has low energy, willpower drops. Sleep is one of the biggest sources of willpower. Most people underestimate this. A tired mind is an impulsive mind. A rested mind is a disciplined mind. Sleep helps restore the strength of the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making. Lack of sleep makes the emotional brain louder. The book also says that physical exercise improves willpower, not just by improving health, but by making the brain stronger. Even walking regularly improves self-control. Exercise creates new brain cells in the regions that manage discipline, focus, and emotional control. So each workout physically strengthens your willpower muscle. We also learn about breathing. Slow, deep breathing reduces stress and strengthens the prefrontal cortex. Just 1 to 2 minutes of slow breathing brings us back to control. This is why people feel calm after deep breaths, because it switches off the stress response and activates the willpower system. Social influence also affects willpower. We become like the people around us. If the people around us complain, give up easily, or follow bad habits, our discipline weakens. If people around us work hard, stay focused, and follow good habits, our discipline strengthens. Humans unconsciously copy behaviors of those around them. Kelly also reveals a unique insight. Thinking, "I will do it later," is one of the biggest causes of failure. This is called moral licensing, or future discounting. Our brain tricks us by saying we will be more motivated later. But the truth is, our future self will have the same mind, same emotions, and same distractions. So the key is, start now, even if it is a small step. Another big idea is commitment.